Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. I am Nur Khairunisa binti Muhammad Khairi as your moderator for today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allocating your time in our forum about mathematical logic and proving technique. Mathematical logic and proving technique is one of the mathematics courses that have been offered by the university to the students. Undergraduate degree students who majoring in mathematics need to take this course once throughout their degree span. By learning this subject, students can enhance their way of thinking about the logical mathematics. In this subject, there are three big topics that the student will learn about, which mainly set theory, fundamental of logic, and proving technique. There is no likelihood, no proof, and no question involved. When we ask how this theory represents the reality around us, uncertainty and question arise. Yet, the outcomes that are true inside this theory must logically be true. And all mathematicians can agree on that. If they have doubts, they must find the flaw in the proof because it is not just enough to point about it. That is why mathematical logic and proving technique exists. Let me introduce you to the four of our panel today. Our first panel today is Miss Rabiatul Adawiyah binti Muhammad Abdul Aziz. The second one is Ms. Nurhanis Arisha binti Muhammad Shaiful. Our third panel is Muhammad Ateh bin Zamani. And the last one is Ms. Wan Nur Athirah binti Wan Muhammad Zakiruddin. Let's go to the main part of our forum for today. What is mathematical logic and proving technique, and its importance in improving the quality in our life. Let's meet the first panel, which is Miss Rabiatul, to tell us what is the importance of this math subject in our life.
Thank you, Ms. Herenisa. In my opinion, learning mathematical logic and proving technique is very important to improve quality of life because it will help us to solve any problem that we had. Problem solving, diagnosing any possible cause of problem and develop an action or plan to solve the problem. When we study mathematical logic and proving technique, we learn to use Venn diagram insights and truth table in logic to make it easier for us to analyze the data we will collect. We need to understand the case of problem to minimize the risk from the decision that we make in order to solve a problem. Also, by using this method, it will lead us to get accurate result. For example, when we think a theory of something, we will definitely search into it and make hypothesis to ensure either the hypothesis is accepted or not. An experiment should be conducted. It should be done to confirm either the theory are correct or wrong. Just as our daily life, we are also always give an opinion or comments that are baseless and have no evidence at all. We need to give an evidence to support our opinion and to make the public trust it. For example, when we hear or saw any news in social, is it right for us to jump into conclusion that the news are true? No, right? We must to make sure the news are correct before we trust it. So here the concept that we have learned in mathematical logic and proving technique are useful to us. It is by doing research, finding data, collect information and think logically to make sure the news are correct or wrong. Moreover, in learning mathematical logic and proving technique, we learn many symbols that can help us shorten out the sentences and make it easier for us to understand a sentence. Writing proof is much more efficient if you get used to the simple symbol that save us from writing as a long sentences. When I study mathematical logic and proving technique, I noticed that they have many symbols that we can use to write a note. As a student, we need to take a note or idea quickly. In fact, this can help us and save time because we do not have to write a complete sentence, complete word. So this is also show that will help students a lot. It is because the purpose to them make a note is to make it easy for them to understand or review what they have learned in class. So surely the student does not like it if their notes are filled with a long word, because this will make them feel lazy to reread the notes. So by using the symbol that have been learned in mathematicology and proving technique is a bit help the student to make notes quickly and neater. This will certainly help in improve quality of student life as well, because students can save their time in making notes, so they can use their time in another important things.
Thanks, Ms. Rabiatul, for the long explanation. From what Ms. Rabiatul had said, I have concluded that mathematical logic and proving technique can help us in problem solving. Okay, for my next question is to Ms. Arisha. What is another importance of mathematical logic and proving technique in improving the quality of
Thank
our
you,
life?
Ms. Karinisa, our moderator for today. Okay, first of all, learning mathematical logic and proving can bring a lot of importance to our life and bring benefits to people if we apply and use it on a regular basis. It's important to remember that mathematical logic is a formalization of classical logic, which is a formalization of intuitive logic, basically the same thing that are going on in our head. The way we think all day also requires logic. Logic is a philosophy of thinking and reasoning that ensure we do not simply make any incorrect assumption during our mental process, which is when we think. Same with mathematics. It also has been described as science that guides us through numerous steps to help us think clearly and appropriately. Mathematical logic is crucial and it does improve our quality of life, because if our thoughts are not logical, we may not come to incorrect conclusions that may affect our answers. Mathematical logic aids us in discriminating between correct and incorrect arguments, allowing us to avoid debate based on incorrect premises or conclusion. People will know how to derive problems step by step by using critical logic thinking skill that they develop from learning mathematical logic and proving. Repeating the logic thinking skills over and over until get the predicted answers. This will eventually teach them to be more rational when deciding things or whenever they encounter daily life problems. They will solve problems carefully and logically by thinking the outcome that they will receive by each action they try to take. People also can apply this in both daily life and academic life. Logical thinking is critical because it allows us to make educated judgments based on accurate information rather than inaccurate information or assumptions. Other than mathematics, logic also plays an important role in our daily life. Plato highlights the significance of logic, stating that logic provides both an essential tools for navigating reality as well as the laws and convention guiding human cognition. While Aristotle stated that logic analyzes the procedure by which we gain knowledge, means that logic helps us analyze procedure that we need to take, and by doing that, we can eventually gain knowledge from it. Knowledge of mathematical logic encourages people by allowing them to ask questions curiously and follow a process to find their own solution, making their brain think rather than relying on the response or help from other people. They can be more independent and wise in making any decision in life.
Thank you, Ms. Arisha, for that. I did not realize at all that actually our mind really related with logical thinking. To make our forum more interesting, from your point of view, Mr. Atin, what is another importance of mathematical logic and proving technique?
Thank you, Miss Moderator. Alright, when we talk about mathematical thinking, normally people will assume that it is all about solving algebra problems, but the truth is, it is actually more than that. Professional mathematicians already use this way of thinking to solve real-world problems that arise from many aspects. In schools, we already been exposed on how to deal with situation problems that related to mathematics. These skills still require us a proper understanding about the topics, but it actually can ease us to find the solution for it. It is because these skills can provide us the steps on how to handle the problems. The general knowledge that we get from solving mathematical problems is the pattern on how to choose the best solution for the problems. So the steps is like this. Firstly, understand the situation and identify the thing that need to be found. Next, identify all the information given and identify the similar tasks that may assist us to find the solution regarding the problems. Then, select appropriate strategy by considering the alternative approaches based on the information given. Finally, analyze the logicality of the outcome of the solution that we make. These steps can be used to handle any type of problems, although it's not related to mathematics. This shows that mathematical thinking can improve our solving skills and help us live in better life because it can lessen the burden of our problems. It can be concluded that mathematical thinking can improve the quality of our life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Atif, for your explanation. I found it amazing that how our mind and mathematical logic and proving technique have so many related things. I am sure there are more to that. So, Ms. Atira, what is your opinion about mathematical logic and proving technique in improving our life?
Thank you, Ms. Karimisa. It's such a great opinion from the all speaker. I would like to add the importance of learning mathematical logic and proving techniques that could help us in improving the quality of life. For me, learning this subject is such a valuable skill to everyone, especially in building our self-development. It's a way for people to assess their skill and qualities, consider their aims in life, and set goals in order to maximize their potential. So, if we build our self-development, we can decide what is better for us in our life by create strategies effectively using the mathematical logic and proving techniques in our daily life. For example, we can develop a new character in ourselves by being an open-minded to others' people's perspective and socially able to debate disagreement with others in order to reach agreement in our decision making. As we all know, people tend to disagree when they don't understand each other throughout the decision. This is because everyone could have a different perspective on how to solve the problem. So we need to hear others out and try to understand them in their own perspective. So by using this mathematical logic and proving techniques, we can conclude by using the logical explanation to reach agreement with all people because it comes from the deep and unchanging meaning of things rather than depends on the problem situation, personal decision, and our emotion. We also need to be aware that sometimes our emotion could take over the decision that have been made. Therefore, applying proving and reasoning from mathematical logic and proving techniques will aid us in developing emotional intelligence that help us in convey our decision effectively. Having high emotional intelligence can improve our self-development because it means that you are aware and control your emotion so that you can express them in a healthy and measured manner. So we can improve the quality of life because we can be a logical person rather than emotional when there is a conflict that happen in our life. We learn to see, understand, and integrate this agreement and making decision effectively, which is a huge step in improving our self-development. Therefore, it is important to learn mathematical logic and proving techniques in improving the quality of life because it is an important skill to be an intelligently rational human. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Atira. Actually, there are lots more importance that we can list out, but as time is running, I will end the forum today at here. We might not realize it, but mathematical logic and proving technique really have a big impact on us in improving the quality of our life. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.